toy.
We're wanted men.
I have spoken.
So we wanted to talk about the Micro Galaxy collection. I actually unboxed one yesterday. I have mine right here.
Yeah, I've got
My
mine right
X-Wing.
here. Whee!
And I also have my X-Wing from Action Fleet here to compare it to, which is nice.
Yeah, because I don't have an Action Fleet X-Wing, and I'm curious if
That
like
one's perfect.
Sorry, Jason. I'm curious if like the little things they've done on this one to kind of make things easier to play with, give it more playability, if they already did that in Action Fleet.
Okay, so what are you talking about?
Okay, so each of the landing gear has a little thing, a little tab
Yep.
you can pull out, which makes it easier to do that when you're dealing with, man hands on a little kid toy.
Yeah, you can see it down here.
Okay.
It's there for the Action Fleet. That does pop out.
What about the canopy? Does it have a little tab also on the front?
It doesn't, but no, it does. It does.
Okay. And then what about the R2? Does it have the little button underneath to lift the R2 up?
No, so the new version, the Micro Galaxy Squadron X-Wing, has a little button at the bottom of the X-Wing. When you push that up, R2 pops up. Real nice. The Action Fleet one does not have that. You have to like pinch your fingers onto the side of the dome and pull it out on the Action Fleet one. You don't have to do that with the new one,
Right.
which is nice. I like that feature because that was a surprise. I didn't know that. I mean, it was on the box. I guess I just didn't pay too
He
close
showed us at
attention.
Celebration, dude.
I don't know.
I'm just giving you crap. Man. I'm giving you crap.
Did he?
Yeah, he was all, I don't know, maybe because I went talk to him and bug him all the time and been like, release a ghost. And I think by the time that I did it for like the 4th day in a row, he either genuinely didn't remember me or was just like, oh, you're that guy.
This guy. Well, you got to think he's met thousands of people. So,
but you know what's
tough. Your brain becomes just like so overloaded with trying to remember faces and names that you stop remembering everything.
Right. But you know what I thought was cool as shit is we gave him a Smugglers Galaxy button and he put that on his shirt and kept it on his shirt all day long. So all his videos, he's got a Smugglers Galaxy button on it.
Didn't help the show none.
None of those buttons I gave out helped the show. I figured we'd get a little bit more listenership, but man, I handed out 400 or 500 buttons and pieces of swag for the show and nobody listened. So if you're listening because you got a button from Celebration, let us know. I'd appreciate that. That'd be awesome.
The X-Wing's S foils that open and close on the Micro Galaxy Squadron, there's some wiggle to it, which I don't like.
Like
you can like shift the body of the X-Wing stays stationary, and with the foils closed, you can move them up and down. You can't do that with the X-Wing, and this is not. You can move them up and down while they're closed.
Yeah, because like the X-Wing will move, like the body, you could hold the wings stationary and the body will move.
Yeah.
That's
crap.
That
happens a lot with models too when you make models because it's like an interlocking piece. You put the two wings together and then they kind of interlock with one another and then you put them in the body. So that's something that happens because of that. The Action Fleet doesn't do that. And the other thing I really like about the Action Fleet is that when you close the wings, they snap close.
Okay.
You can't do that with at least this one that I have. You close the wings and they kind of spring open a little bit.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap in the wings, which I don't really like that. But for a $16 toy, you can't. If that's my only complaint with this toy, that's it. Wow. What I was going to say is the diecast X-Wing, like this from the 70s, it does that where you can move the body with the wings without
Okay.
moving the wings.
That's a good reference.
So it's not, to me, I don't consider that too bad. Should I break out my die cast and compare those? Since
Yeah,
you're
I
comparing,
mean,
hold on, let me grab it.
because not everybody has the stuff that I have. Like, not
All right.
everybody has Action Fleet. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
let me grab my die cast. I'll be right back. So now I have to take it off the stand. Ian Sanderson, he wants some stands. Go see him. All right. See I just closed them and you can
Yeah.
tell the body is cockeyed.
Yeah, so Glenn just showed me, for those that are listening, the wings were closed, and he was able to pivot the body of the X-wing so it's crooked. It's not straight.
And it only does it one way, just like this one does. So I'm assuming
Yeah.
it's got to be a thing with the way they made it.
It's got to be. Maybe they used that as the inspiration, the die cast, and they, instead of the X-wing from the Action Fleet. The other thing I wanted to mention was the paint application.
Uh-huh.
So the X-wing has like 3 colors. There's the red. The design on the wings, the red does have some weathering, but it's not as extensive as some of the weathering on the Micro Galaxy Squadron version. They did color both the top and the bottom. There's some gray to signify where the engine is on both. That's all good. For the Action Fleet, when they did some weathering, they just kind of took a airbrush and just shot some lines in it, almost like it's just shot a scorch mark or something like that.
Mhm.
There's a whole wash on the X-wing for the Micro Galaxy Squadron ship here that I really, really like.
Yeah.
Also, I'm noticing that there's some yellow detail on the Micro Galaxy Squadron X-wing that they didn't have on the Action Fleet. So I would say when it comes to paint application, this new one is much better because it's more realistic. It's got more colors than the Action Fleet. It's like they did the bare minimum with the Action Fleet. This one, they were like, let's try to get it closer to right than what they did in Galoob.
Right. Well, didn't he say that their focus on this line was the ships?
The ships, yeah.
And the figures are going to be secondary.
Yep. Yeah, because when you look at the figures, I mean, the scale's off a little bit for the 2 lines. Luke Skywalker for the Micro Galaxy Squadron has 2 legs that are not connected at the bottom. For Action Fleet, all of those figures had like a flat bottom. They didn't stand on the 2 legs themselves. There was like a connector that you were able to just like stand them much. They were easier to stand. Like I was trying to stand the Micro Galaxy Luke Skywalker last night, and I had some trouble with that because he has the 2 feet and there's nothing connecting them. And I'm seeing now that they're a little off.
Mhm.
The feet are a little off. They're not the same size, and they're not pointing in the right direction. So he struggles to stand.
I don't mind. Oh, there we go. I was like, I stood mine up the first go round. I'm not having any issues, but I don't care.
Action Fleet's a little bit bigger in both, except for R2-D2. The Micro Galaxy Squadron 1 is a little bit bigger than the Action Fleet one. However, the Action Fleet one has a fully detailed dome, whereas the Micro Galaxy one, they just put like a dop of blue paint at the top.
Right.
They didn't do all the panels. He doesn't have the red dot like the Action Fleet does to show where that little flashing red dot is on him. They kind of did the detail on R2-D2 in broad strokes. Even the sculpting on the new one is broad strokes. It's just like, oh, there's a panel here, there's a panel here. We don't need to really focus on that. For Action Fleet, they did take the time to actually put detail in his arms, his body, his dome. So I would give Action Fleet a point there when it comes to R2-D2.
Right. I think just by judging it on the figures, the Action Fleet's going to win versus this one because they've admitted that they didn't. I mean, you could tell they didn't care about the figures. They were just like, here's a figure. We're doing ships, and that's sort of their spiel was. We're focusing on the ships, and we're the first line that actually focuses on the ships.
Yep.
And the figures are secondary.
It's all in scale. I mean, I have my speeder bike here that I got from Celebration, and that's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how many of those, if we're going to be able to find some of those blind bags, and how many of those I'm going to actually buy.
Well, the blind bags are like $6 each, so it's not a lot.
That's another thing I like about this line is I think the pricing is pretty fair.
Yeah, I have all the prices here, so we'll dive into that in just a second. I'm looking at the box that it came with because I accidentally ordered two. I pre-ordered one, and then on Facebook they said, "Oh, pre-order's open," and I thought that I ordered the TIE Fighter, Darth Vader's TIE, so I got two. So I am gonna open these, except if I get a chase. I'm not gonna open the chases. That's what I'm doing here. But this came with a launch edition gold sticker on the top to show that this is Series 1. It says on the bottom 0015. It's numbered.
Uh-huh.
So I'm wondering, like, why did you start with number 15? The back has a collectible blueprint, kind of like back when G.I. Joe had the cutout section, the classified, I don't know what you would call them, but they go into detail. This is just a blueprint. It's in Arabesh. It says Luke Skywalker's X-Wing. You can cut it out. I would imagine you could take this to the store and say, "Oh, I already have this one," if you forgot that you had it or something like that. But it's pretty cool. It's something different that Hasbro doesn't do today
Right.
for their stuff.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this figure or looking at this ship, I really wish Hasbro would put this much thought into everything, because you could tell Jazzwares, and I think it may be because Jazzwares feels that they're a step behind because they're not a Hasbro or a Galoob. They're not I mean, the more I look into it, the more I realize that Jazzwares has a lot of licenses, because I think they do a wrestling line.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to get caught up, because whenever you do see like a Playmates make something or a lesser known toy company, you kind of poo-poo it a little bit.
Yep.
So I think that's what they're doing. They're like, if we're going to spend money on this, we're going to do it right. And I think they're doing it right so far.
So some of the things that are upcoming, the Imperial Troop Transport, which I thought was a Walmart exclusive, but I saw that it was appearing on Walmart. That one is $22.99, which is not a lot, but that comes with a couple Stormtroopers. So you can pop those in. And that's number 9.
Go ahead. Sorry.
That's number 19.
Well, I was going to say, $22, considering that this is 17. That's not a bad price.
No, I guess it's 23 because it's $22.99.
Whatever.
I don't like that the chases are numbered, because the TIE Fighter white is a chase. It's a super rare, so there's one of 5,000. That's numbered 13. That's still $13. And then the gray version is $13, but that's number 10. So even though that they're chases, it's not like they're just numbered 10 with a white TIE Fighter inside of it. It's a white TIE Fighter with 13 on it. So
that kind of ruins the people that are completists. I hope that doesn't kill the line. Yeah,
we'll get into killing the line in a minute.
Okay.
Slave 1 is number 21. That's $30. The AT-ST Raider, which is the Mandalorian version, that's rare, limited edition of 15,000. That's $13. The Falcon, which I thought was a Target exclusive, but then it came on Amazon this week and it was much cheaper than Target, so I canceled my Target and I ordered through Amazon, pre-ordered. Regular, it's $44.99. I think I got it for $32 this week on Amazon.
Yeah, and apparently Amazon has it, because I looked at it because I pre-ordered mine months ago. If they do lower the price, Amazon keeps track of that, and they'll give you the lower price when it's pre-order.
Awesome.
I guess that saves them from paperwork, Yep.
The Millennium Falcon is number 22 in the line. The Genevex class Starfighter, which is Asajj Ventress's Starfighter, that one's $13 and it's number 11. Darth Vader's TIE Fighter is $17. It's number 16. The X-Wing that we just went into is number 15. That's $17. And then the AT-ST Hoth. There's a regular version, and then I believe the Raider is, like I said, the Raider is the chase.
Okay.
From the Mandalorian. That's the regular AT-ST from Hoth is number 9, and it's $13. And then you get into those are all season one. You get into the TIE Fighter Sabine, which is going to be a chase. That's going to be tough. That one's going to be $13.
How rare is that one? Do you know? Is that 500 or 5,000?
I think it's 5,000, but I don't know off the top of my head.
So I'm putting this out there now, and I'll put it out there again. If anybody finds one, let me know. I will buy it off of you. But
we'll buy two.
Yeah.
I'm looking for one too.
But I'm going to open mine and display it with all my Rebel stuff. Ha!
There's an A-Wing Phoenix leader, which I think is what? Hera?
He hinted that he was going to put they were going to do a Hera or A-Wing or something. They hinted that Hera was going to be a chase. So I'm assuming that's Hera.
I think that's a chase. So you would imagine there's an A-Wing coming, but then there's the Phoenix version. And that one's a chase.
Let me ask you this, because the Moff Gideon was a chase TIE fighter, but was he just released with the Darth Vader TIE fighter, or is he getting released with, or is it just like, here's a chase, here you go? Is it a chase of a Darth Vader TIE fighter or a normal TIE fighter, or you don't?
It's a chase. It's limited to 15,000. I don't think they're going to be very difficult to get the 15,000 ones. Because back when episode 3 came out, Target had a limited 15,000 edition of Darth Vader painted red.
Mm-hmm.
And that was readily available. So I don't know if it's going to be completely difficult to find the rare ones, the 15,000 limited edition ones. I think the 5,000 ones are going to be the ones that are going to be tough to find.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. Just be ready for eBay pricing.
Yeah, there's the Vulture droid, which will be probably TIE Fighter price, which is $17. Or, no, $13. There's the Razor of Arvala 7 for $30, and then there's the scavenged version again for $30. It's number 20 and 23.
So the Razor Crest is going to be a scavenge. There's going to be a chase of that. Did I hear that you broke up a little bit?
Yeah, there's a scavenged version and there's a regular version. Both are $30. One's 20, the other one's number 23. I didn't see any information if one was rare or not.
Okay.
Or if one was a store exclusive or not. I just know that there's 2 available.
That would be badass to find.
Yeah, I think I pre-ordered one from somewhere.
Probably Amazon. They had it on pre-order.
There's going to be a TIE Fighter Battle Damaged, probably again for $13. There's not a lot of details for that. You were just talking about the TIE Outlander, which is Moff Gideon's one where the wings fold. That one's $17, and it is rare, limited edition to 15,000 vehicles. You got your micro vehicles, which I would assume that's 1 through 8.
Okay.
I don't have the box on me. The super rare one is a speeder bike with Grogu on the back. That's the super rare one. There's one with IG-11 on it. That one's kind of rare. There's an Ahsoka with a speeder bike. There's a regular speeder bike with a biker scout. And then there's what is an ATDP, if I remember right? The one where it's like an ATST, except it's like more scaled back. You can actually see the driver on it from episode 3.
Oh yeah, the droid thing or clone.
Yep. So those are all in the blind packs. There's another one, but that's it's Cobb Vanth on Anakin's speeder pod racer thing. That's the other one that's available in that one.
Right.
You got your X-Wing Luke, which is a super rare, so it's going to look a lot like this X-Wing. However, it comes with a Jedi Luke and an R2. That's a limited edition of 5,000, so I'm trying to find that one. There's an X-Wing Blue, probably from Rogue One, which is super rare, limited edition of 5,000. You got your Jedi Starfighter, which is called the Delta 7B, which is an Ahsoka Starfighter, and that's limited edition of 15,000. So it's going to be rare. You've got your Obi-Wan Kenobi Starfighter. It's $17. It's going to be readily available. Comarch class Mando Starfighter, which I think is a Mandalorian ship. That's coming. Snowspeeder is coming. An armored assault tank, probably from Rogue One. I think I'm saying the O's weird. Rig one. 10 of
Oh.
10 of 4 escape pod. You got your Stap speeder and Republic gunship, which is the one where you can jump out of the sides of it. Those are all coming in the line. Haven't seen photos of that, but I believe a lot of those are Series 2.
They're coming out with some cool crap.
Yeah, they are. However, I'm just worried that these rarities are going to kill the line. And you were kind of hinting at the San Diego Comic-Con one, which is a TIE fighter. It's holographic. It's blue. Comes with a blue TIE fighter pilot. Again, they're kind of translucent plastic. Limited edition to 500. A lot of Star Wars collectors are completionists. So when you start doing this kind of thing, people will get frustrated and they'll close down and they'll just say, whatever, I don't need it.
I wouldn't worry about them doing something crazy like that, because a lot of lines do a crazy ass San Diego Comic-Con, and it doesn't really, I don't think it hurts. I mean, I don't know. You're a TVC guy, so you're still pissed off about 66, about your salacious scrum, but I don't think that would necessarily hurt the line as much as the 5,000 will, or the 15,000 or whatever. I think when you get into those, like where you make a very, very rare, like 5,000 that you're going to run into the scalper issue, that's what's going to kill the line more than a San Diego Comic-Con very limited edition thing. But it could. I mean, I'm worried about it. I think more people will get pissed off and quit collecting it just because it's hard to find the one you want. I mean, I don't know how bad it's going to be to find that Sabine, but that's one I got to get. Number one, you make one of these in a Rebels thing, I'm going to chase it till, because it's Rebels. And that's a ship I've been wanting for years, and they've never released it. They've only released it in tabletop form. And I don't want a little bitty one. I want a good size one where you can see the detail in it.
Yeah. My opinion is this could either go like the way of the Funko, where you've got your rabid fans for it and the value holds, or it's going to go the way of
Beanie
Angry
Babies.
Birds Star Wars or something like, or even the new ones, the Mission Fleet. I wonder if that's the whole point of Mission Fleet, is that they knew that Jazzwares had this line and they were like, we need to do something for kids quick, and they created Mission Fleet. But I don't see Mission Fleet holding its value in 10 years.
No.
So I don't know. I don't think that I think this will just be like Action Fleet right now. If you want to go find something on Action Fleet, you can go on eBay and find it, and that'll be the way with the rare super chases and stuff like that. You might have to pay, $40 for it, but it's not going to be like $1,000 in 10 years for some of these vehicles.
Right. Because I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking if I got to pay eBay pricing for the Sabine, I'd probably pay $40-$50 for it at most, just because it's something I want. I would double it, but I want it triple it. And yeah, you're right. I don't think these things, if you're collecting these as an investment, this is the wrong thing to be collecting. Right. Even though they're awesome, this isn't an investment piece. This is I'm going to have fun with it piece. And I mean, because like I told the guy at Celebration, I said, these are great because I like having stuff that I can give to my grandkids and be like, play with this. To where they're going to play with my $40 Razor Crest versus my $500 Razor Crest, or vice versa. And yes, I would be upset if it broke, but I'm not out 500 versus 40, and I can go buy another one if I wanted to. I could replace it. Yep. Which that's what I think is great about this line, because like I said, I'm always looking for stuff to keep the kids entertained, so they don't play with my good stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited about this line. I can't wait to put them all on the shelf, because again, they're all in scale to one another, which is something they've never ever done in the history of Star Wars. The Falcon will be in scale to the X-Wing, which is in scale to this speeder bike.
Yeah,
which is cool. You put them together and I'm like, oh wow, that's the scale, that's the size, that's what they would be. And it kind of puts, because some of these vehicles are just so massive, it's tough to kind of think in your head how big they are in comparison. So it's cool to put them right next to each other and be like, oh, so that's how big that is. Yeah,
I think like the Millennium Falcon is going to be the biggest they're going to be able to go with this line, because if you're going to do a Star Destroyer, it's going to have to be massive. And then if you want to do Darth Vader's Star Destroyer, it'll take up a room.
No, you can't do that. You can't do the the Death Star or Star Killer Base, or even I think the biggest vehicle is Snoke ship in Star Wars so far in the movies. I'm going to qualify that because I'm sure there's some EU thing that someone can throw out there.
I couldn't, and I know the EU halfway decent, but yeah, I really am looking forward to the scale of things because you never know. You don't know how big the Falcon is. I think it's cool as crap. You could put 4 people in that cockpit of the Millennium Falcon with no problem. Are they doing a Millennium Falcon chase that you know of?
Not right now. However, that Falcon has a launch edition sticker on it in the corner of it, so they could do a chase later down the road of a solo one, or they can do a chase later down the road of Last Jedi, Force Awakens, Square Dish kind of one. There's just so much possibility with this than there was with Action Fleet. I mean, you've got 11 movies now.
Yeah.
Counting Solo and Rogue One.
I think it'd be badass if they did a solo one because that escape pod is pretty cool. I love the story of that escape pod. So, or the lore of it.
Yeah.
As a Kenner guy, it's just cool that I don't know if they went back to the archives and said, we're going to do this, or they just pull it out their butt, but there was a proposed escape pod in the late 80s when they were trying to keep the line going that would attach to the Millennium Falcon that never got produced. So I think that's sort of as a Kenner fan, I think it's a cool throwback if that's what they meant with that escape pod in Solo.
Yeah. So that's what I had for the Micro Galaxy Squadron overview so far of Series 1 and 2. I like the line. I like what I see here with this X-Wing. So I'm looking forward to getting the Falcon and the Razor Crest, which I think are August 1st release dates.
Yep.
So it's just a couple weeks away where I'll have those in hand. I have a place picked out for where these will go. I just need to clean it off.
I don't know where the hell I'm going to put these things.
Space is definitely a premium. I hate to keep going back to my cantina, but as I print more and more, the thing gets bigger and bigger. And I'm like, I don't have room. I was foolish to think that this would fit on a shelf. It's taking up like a coffee table.
Yeah. Well, that's what I did with my Galactic Heroes cantina. I ended up putting it on a coffee table. And that thing's huge. So I could just imagine a 6-inch. I mean, yeah.
Well, the issue with the coffee table I currently have is that it's a little bit higher because it wasn't meant to be a coffee table. So if you were to sit on the couch and watch TV, you kind of have to fold down the cantina to see the TV. For my chair, it's fine. But if I were to watch TV with someone, I need to move things. So I need to find a place for this cantina or get it out of there. But I can't imagine getting rid of it at this point because there's so much work that it's been put into it. And
you're past the point of no return.
Yeah. I'm committed to making it, completing my vision.
Yeah.
It's peak Lando season out there right now with all of the different Landos on the pegs. They're just sitting there warming the pegs. It's like, we need to get more stuff in the stores.
Yeah.
Here.
Speaking of the new stuff, I know we've beat it, to beat another dead horse, but all the cardboard or plastic free packaging where you can't see the figures. Mm-hmm. There's been people complaining, people that have opened up their Boba Fett, and it's been either the paint app sucks or the figure's broken. It seems, do you think Hasbro's just going to be like, you know what, F it, these collectors are never going to open the box, so they don't care what they put, or their quality controls go into crap because they think half the boxes will never get open?
I don't know. Like, quality control needs to be improved because, like, shoulders, it was like the top half of Boba Fett was gone, or the waist wasn't connected, or the leg wasn't connected. And it's just like, yeah, this is going to kill the line. People are going to be like, I'm not going to risk buying that because they can't put the figure together. And I can't be assured that the figure that I'm buying is the figure that I want connected. And I don't have to do work to make it the figure that I want, you know?
Yeah.
And then there was somewhere in Canada, Toys R Us, where someone returned the Boba Fett and they used black tape to retape it and return it. So they took the Fett out and put in like a bunch of just random pieces of toys. And that's just a one-off. That's not going to be a consistent thing, but it's going to have to change like Toys R Us maybe can't accept returns for items like that because they can't assure that what's inside is still the original product.
Right. And that's another thing for resellers. So like, second chance, will they even take a chance on that? But will they even buy that stuff? Because what happens if somebody does that? They just repackage it and then, they give the guy whatever, and then they sell it to somebody who opens it. And the guy, do they trust the people that open it saying, oh, this is crap in here? I think it's a Pandora's box that Hasbro has opened literally, and they just don't, it's just not good. I don't think it's good for the hobby either, but like we keep saying,
Hasbro.
You ready for Hasbro to what?
Retire the line.
The TV, just the whole
TVC,
thing.
Yeah. Let's just retire it so I can be done with it.
And that's saying a lot coming from you because you're like hardcore TVC.
Yeah. I think it's just time to move on. Move along.
Yeah. It sucks, but yeah, I think it is. It could be. Let's do one more Hasbro Pulse and then go from there and cancel it.
Someone here early.
Dude, it's not till 6:30 tonight.
No, I'm selling a thing off of Facebook, and someone just swung around my house, but it looks like they're driving on, so maybe it's not us. Anyways, sorry.
As long as it's not Amazon, dude.
It's not Amazon, so
so they don't tear up your driveway.
Yeah, like with the Jazzware stuff, I'm excited about this. The Hasbro stuff, it's okay. Let's retire that line. They released this week a 2-pack on Amazon with Boba Fett and Bosk for the retro collection, and those two are on card and they're in a box. So it's like the box is the way that they deliver the product, and the product inside is the sealed figure.
Right.
So from Hasbro's perspective, being on card is the product. That is part of the product. So the box is their way around the plastic free, because once you open the box, there is plastic inside of it.
Yeah.
I don't want them doing that with TVC. Just retire the line. Move along.
Move along.
So
yeah, I'm not a TVC guy, so I'm not saying I don't care, but something needs to happen with Hasbro, and I don't know what it is. I think Lucasfilm maybe needs to do something. I think Hasbro and Lucasfilm it's time to renegotiate, and Hasbro needs to stick it to Lucasfilm, because Lucasfilm's been sticking it to Hasbro for years. And
yeah,
I know it's beating a dead horse, but the more and more you think about it, the more and more you don't realize that I don't think it's Hasbro. It's got to be Lucasfilm.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into it, but yeah, I mean, ditto.
Yeah. Anywho.
Cool beans.
Yeah, man.
Cool. Should we wrap it up then?
Yeah,
Anything
let's
else?
wrap it. I think I'm good, man.
Looking forward to Summer Social
Yes.
next weekend.
Next weekend. Let's see what kind of stuff we can buy at room sales.
Be tired.
You're tired.
No, I'm gonna be tired.
Yeah, get ready for that. I think we need
garage.
to, huh?
I gotta start cleaning my garage to
I
let
gotta-
people go through that way.
I got to do that tonight. And then we talked to we want to do a facelift on the house, like new floors and paint and stuff. And we talked to the contractor, and he's like, "Where are you guys going to go when we work?" My wife's like, "What do you mean? We're going to stay here?" He goes, "No, you're not." So he wants us to clean the whole house out so he could work and find a place to stay for a month or two. And I'm like, son of a bitch.
You can't do it in shifts where one section of the house gets.
No, he says he'd rather do it. He likes doing it on a clean house.
Is this your neighbor?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Whatever. I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
That's why I don't, my father-in-law is like, "Well, there's cheaper people." I'm like, "Yeah, I know there's cheaper people, but I trust my neighbor, and he gives us a fair price." And my neighbors that's his profession. He's not a shade tree guy, but that's his profession. So I trust him, and he's done all the work on our house, and he's done a hell of a job every time he does something. So
Yep.
Yeah. And it's 4 months out, so it'll be right at Christmas time. So it'll be even better. So I told my wife, I said, if we're packing everything up, why don't we just move? And she's like, "F you."
No. I don't have the heart for that.
Yeah. I'm like, if I got to pack everything, because we got to find a pod and find movers to come move all our crap into the garage. And yeah, so we'll see.
Trying to get rid of stuff.
Yeah, well,
Not
that's
that
what
I'm moving, but I'm just trying to get rid of some of this stuff.
that's what we're like. All right, cool. We're gonna have a dumpster so we can start throwing stuff away.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let me know because I'll trash some stuff too.
Yeah, awesome.
I'll throw a couple bucks at you.
Sweet. Well, it's not my dumpster, so or whatever. We'll see.
Anyways,
I don't know.
thank you. Speaking of dumpsters, let's end the show.
Let's not do more dumpster fire. Yeah, do it, Jason.
Thank you for listening to the Smugglers Galaxy podcast. If you could, please leave a like and a 5-star review of the show anywhere you listen to your podcast. It really helps us out. Follow us. Dinjajajarn. Follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Send us an email or message us. We love feedback and we'd love to make you part of the show. Our email address is smugglersgalaxy@gmail.com. Thank you to Alfonso Riviera for the Smugglers Galaxy logo. You could find him at Puerto Rico Star Wars on Facebook and to Levi Waterhouse for the music. Hasbro, re-release VC66, hashtag vote with your wallet. Pass on what you've learned. Be a positive force in the collecting community. This is the way.
This is the way.